This is Nico Nicole, and you are watching Get This Girl a Mic. You guys know I had to hop on here today because I had to talk about the elephant in the room, the Jay-Z of it all. So that's why we are here today. So let's just jump right in. I want to start with the statement that Jay-Z wrote. I'm sure you guys have some of you. If you guys are here, maybe some of you have saw what he wrote, but I'll read it to you guys anyway for those of you who haven't been catching up with what's going on with everything. So there was another lawsuit put out. It was originally Diddy was the only one on a lawsuit for this claim, but recently the defendant put another person on the claim, and it ended up being Jay-Z. There's a whole backstory to it, where the lawyer Tony Busby he said that there was another person that was unidentified, that if they didn't settle, he would go public with who they were. And now we are all under the assumption that that person was Jay-Z because Tony Busby came out with his own statement following Jay-Z's last night. So the lawsuit was pending. It was a sexual, I can't say that on here, but it was assault of a young girl. I believe she was 13 years old, according to reports. And based on what she experienced, it was extremely graphically detailed. She met them at an after party for the VMAs back in 2000, the year of 2000, and she was only 13 years old at the time. And apparently, she was, given some pills, and she fainted and passed out. And then after that happened, she walked into a bedroom to kind of get some solace. Followed behind her was the perpetrator, allegedly was Jay-Z, followed by P. Diddy and another unidentified female. They are saying that the unidentified female is J-Lo. I don't know. It's allegedly. This is all alleged because during that time, Beyonce was not with Jay-Z in the 2000s. It's like early 2000s. So they're saying it was, who. Maybe I shouldn't even say that, but that's like the rumor. The rumor is that it's maybe her, but there is no proof of any of this kind of stuff. We're just kind of reporting on the reports that are out there, and this is all alleged. There is no definitive proof of any of this stuff right now, guys. So it's kind of like a wait and see moment. But in the meantime, in between time, let me read you the statement that Jay-Z did put out so far in relation to this. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Wouldn't you agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you came to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at a young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have watched their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man, we'll come back to that, who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these type of games. We have very strict codes of honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe in idiotic claims. You have fake psychics, I believe. I think he meant psychics, but he put physics, fake physics. I think he meant psychics. Will believe idiotic claims you have levied against me. It is not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids would be laughable. And then apparently he deleted that, and then he reposted this last line. He came back on and he reposted this last line. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. Jeez. So it was very emotionally driven. To me, I don't know, it feels a little bit like, you know, when your man cheat and they like, I didn't do it, and they start crying, I didn't do it, and they adamant. That's how this feels to me. I have been in the space of knowing something was going to be going down with Jay-Z for a while, because, you know, like he said, the physics, aka the psychics, is what he meant. The fake psychics, they have been predicting that he was next. This whole entire time, they've been saying that Jay-Z was going to be on this, you know, trajectory. So the fact that it's here, I'm not really surprised. I just feel it is unfortunate for everything Beyonce has built in her career, and this man has taken her down. I think they've known for a long time this is coming. I think that's why we saw that video of Beyonce when she was in the 16 Carriages video. And even the behind the scenes of it, where she was like kind of physically there, but like her eyes weren't there. They were just, everybody's saying her eyes have no life, because I think she's been dealing with this for a long time. But I'm not going to make this about Beyonce. Let's go back to Jay-Z. So I was watching a few things. Like, I wrote them down, like a few little things. And I was going to do this tomorrow. So that's why, like I said, it's unprepared. I didn't come in dressed up. I just literally hopped on. I was like, I can't wait on this one. So I watched an interview with Cameron and 50 Cent, maybe like a day before yesterday. I was having this conversation with my husband about why, Jay-Z wouldn't just let 50 Cent perform. Because 50 Cent talked about how he wasn't able to perform and how upset he was about that, and how he ended up getting to perform because he kind of went above Jay-Z. And I think it's one of them things where once you know how to do something, like 50 Cent is the kind of person, like, once you teach me how to do something, I'm going to do it myself. So once he realized, like, the liquor business was the way Jay-Z got in through the NFL, because, you know, they have to service those lounges and stuff. I think that's kind of the same thing that 50 Cent felt. Okay, I could do this myself. I could do it by myself. I don't need nobody else. That's what my little girl always said. So I feel like that was one of those situations. So he went above Jay-Z, who's like, I don't know his exact title. Let me look in the NFL, but I knew he wasn't going to be there long. They literally just put him there. What's his position in the job? His job. Roger Goodell confirmed that the two sides will continue working during NFL's owners. So they're getting rid of DEI. It's so okay. Let me back up. Let me go back. Let me go back. We're gonna talk about DEI and all of it. Okay, but let's focus. So I knew this was coming because 50 Cent basically was saying in the interview that Jay-Z tried to stop him from performing for the Super Bowl. And I was asking my husband, like, why do you think that would happen? He basically said, would you want somebody to go above you and kind of usurp your power and then, you know, take a position? And that's kind of what Jay-Z felt that 50 Cent did. And 50 Cent felt like he was just making a business deal, because what was happening was 50 Cent said in his interview that he has 3-4 different pockets of places that he is able to build connections and businesses with, where he has liquor partnerships and other business partnerships with, I believe, in Texas, like Houston. And this guy, Bugsby, Texas, there's a lot going on in Texas. Oh my God, I wish y'all would have followed me on my other page too. Like, I talk about all that stuff that goes on in Texas right now, how Exxon is moving to Texas, this and this and this. So 50 Cent is dealing with a lot of Texan power rigs down there. And he said the thing is he don't chase these people. They come to him like, okay, he's the cool. That's where the cool is at. Because when you got money and you bored, they want to be next to the coolest cool. And 50 Cent has that cool factor still, whereas Jay-Z is not as cool anymore. Like, he's kind of, his cool is waning, and it's kind of Jay-Z himself called it the white hot light. It's waning. We've already known that. So with 50 still being in the white hot light and connected to all these different cultures with power and things like that, a lot of owners and people, big business billionaires, want to be next to him to get some of that, to cipher some of his cool. That's what he was talking about. So he utilized that and made business positions, because that's what 50 Cent do. So he aligned himself with a few Houston Rockets, Astros, and he mentioned a few. And that really upset Jay-Z to the point where he did not want to, and this is all from 50 Cent now, to the point where he didn't no longer want to have 50 Cent perform at that Super Bowl halftime that Eminem and Dr. Dre and Mary J. Blige all did. That really made Jay-Z upset. So he said that in order to perform, how did 50 Cent get to that to perform? He had to go over Jay-Z's head, right? So, which lets you know that he has powerful connections in terms of the NFL as well. And this, to prove my point, his last post, if you go to 50 Cent's post from today, he posted something that to me was extremely reminiscent of the Blueprint. Kind of like insinuating that he's the new Blueprint. And that's the picture. Right? And so to me, that kind of was like, all right, I'm the new Don. I'm the new Don. And that was like a couple of hours after, or maybe like this within an hour of Jay-Z's allegations. And then he said, please do not come to my page looking for trouble. And I might put this all on. I don't know if I can do this later. I'm not going to. This is like literally. Can I put anything up here? Okay, I don't know. Because you know, sometimes, I guess not with this. You can't put pictures on your screen. I don't know. I'll figure it out another day. Not today. Then he put this one saying, is the Super Bowl still going to happen? Just kind of like trolling. You know how people do. So I already knew there was going to be something after I saw the Cameron interview. So the Cameron interview came out. Then a couple of days before the Cameron interview, MIA, y'all remember her? I think it was No One in the Gonna Got Swagger Like Us. I think that's her song. Let me double check. I don't want. That could be somebody. That could be Nelly Furtado. Swagger. Yeah, that was her. No one in the gonna like swagger like us. Swagger like us. Swagger like us. No one. Y'all remember her from back in the day. So she had her song, and she was basically saying she was under Jay-Z, and he made her he wanted her to get all this plastic surgery, and she refused to get the plastic surgery because she just thought, you know, her Indian features were beautiful enough. And she was like, he was really crude and rude. And I think when I heard that, I said, oh Lord, something's coming down the pipeline. And then the third thing that made me think something coming down the pipeline is Tasha K. You know, she's in a mess too, and she's in the pocket of Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj, Drake, I feel like they all got something to do with all of this. So allegedly, right? I personally feel, that's my opinion. It's allegedly opinion, whatever. Don't sue me. That's the bottom line. I'm new to this. Nah, you know what I'm saying? So okay, I don't know all the rules yet, YouTube. Don't be mad at me. All right. So anyway, so MIA, she said that she was told to get surgery for how she looks. So she said to herself, I'm not getting no surgery. Y'all not going to do that. I feel like I'm beautiful as I am, and I'm going to maintain how I look. Y'all not going to make me do nothing to myself. So then on top of that, Tasha K did an interview with Jay-Z's alleged love child. And Jay-Z apparently sued the boy, and the mother was on there talking about she had to pay, it was a lot. I want to say $15,000. And she had to pay $5,000 a month out of her paycheck or something like that. $1,500 a month out of her paycheck. So basically, like, it was a lot. I want to say $5,000 a month, yeah. And she had $1,500 out of every paycheck to go to Jay-Z, and it's still happening. And she was like, I'm like a regular person, and you know, I'm just basically saying, this your child. Take a DNA test. If I'm lying, I'm lying. Like, but the DNA test will prove if I'm lying or not. But obviously, Jay-Z is not taking it. He's just doing a defamation of character, and that's kind of, so when that story came out, so you got that story, you got MIA story, then you got 50 Cent talking about him on the Cam show. It's a lot going on. So I was like, what's going on with Jay-Z this week? And a couple of days later, boom, here we go. And also, it was also weird to me how Andrew Schultz, you know, he always in a mess too, the little white boy. To me, he's a good temperature check for how white America feels about black culture, because he's in that line, right? He plays both sides of the fence. He can hang with black people, but you really don't like them. I always call them people blue on the outside, red on the inside. So them kind of people, you just, they toe that line, because he know his privilege is always going to prevail. And Drake do too. Drake is aligned with white culture. He got a white mama. He know how to move in that world in a way black people will never be able to move unless we know, right? So they see Drake as one of their own. So when Andrew Schultz mouthed about Kendrick Lamar, which was like low down, and to say that about another man, you know what I'm saying? So that's like that's a weird buck breaking thing. And even I could go deep, even to the point of like Quentin Tarantino using that scene in that movie of buck breaking. It was messed up. And then his obsession with black culture and buck breaking in all his movies. And then his connection with like the culture as well, and how black people like idolize that man. And then he's connected to some of the largest rappers in he loves RZA. I think I saw a picture of him and Jay-Z too. Cause I was thinking about Quentin Tarantino the other day. I think it was Jay-Z. I was like, is there, because I looked it up, I was like, it was like, yeah, they Jay-Z, I love Pulp Fiction. I don't remember what I saw, but Jay-Z and Wu-Tang are on Quentin Tarantino's personal playlist. I can't remember what I saw the other day, but it was some kind of connection that I saw between Quentin Tarantino and Jay-Z. Beyonce gave Quentin Tarantino a death stare at the Golden Globes, and fans think they have beef. You know, Beyonce only get mad at one reason, is when you taking her husband away from her. And that's the only time she get mad about stuff. So that's telling. And this is what I'm trying to say. So I feel like all that has to do with like something in Hollywood where things are coming down, and people are taking their stances and taking their position. You're going to see a lot more of this happening as this all of what Cat Williams say, all will be revealed in 2024, because it's going down basement. So yeah, so I saw Andrew Schultz getting involved, and I said to myself, okay, why is he getting involved? Like I said, he gave me that Quentin Tarantino vibe. And then they see Drake as their own. So for him to badmouth Kendrick, it was letting the world know I stand with Drake. And a lot of Jewish people stand with Drake, because I believe Drake is Jewish. So it would make sense why they would be connected to him in that way. He is literally their savior. Like they love him. He introduced them to the culture in a way that they never had access to. And because now, and the crazy thing is, he's Canadian. He's not even American black, so he's still really not connected to the culture in the way they think he is. And so they're trying to take down Kendrick, because Kendrick does love his culture. He does love his people. And everybody's saying, oh, but he got a white wife or whatever. She's not white. She's Puerto Rican and black. So I don't know the last time a Puerto Rican and black was a white girl, but y'all let me know. All right, so that all was tying into it. So I feel like with Jay-Z right now, there is this block because he has stayed too long. My mama always say this term. She's like, you stayed too long, And you going too far and you stayed too long. And that's what happened with Jay-Z. His white hot light. And he already knew this. He literally said it to himself. Let me see if I can find a clip and play it for you guys. Jay-Z. And he was talking about like rappers don't, you only have a certain amount of
the thing.
Is that hard to deal with, or did you feel like I'm okay with that because I've moved on?
No, at the end of the day, we're gonna find out it's not about the white hot space, but it's about finding the truth. Mm-hmm. That white hot space, people think it's the biggest thing, but it's really small. It's almost like a trend. You know what I mean? Like, you'd rather be a trend or you'd rather be forever. I'm the person that looked at the Mona Lisa and be like, man, that's gonna be cool in 40 years.
Right.
Right? I play forever.
Right.
I play forever. And so my whole thing is to identify with the truth, not to be the youngest, hottest, new trendy thing. I don't think people are looking to...
I misinterpreted that. So, when I first saw this clip, and I don't think this is the clip I saw him talk about this then. I saw him talk about he talked about the white hot light when I saw it. And he was saying, and I can't remember, this is a long time, because you guys got to remember, I'm in my late 30s, so these are things I've seen in interviews, When I remember him talking about the hot white light, and if you guys were in my era, you remember it too. What he was talking about is, he was talking about Drake. And he was saying how Drake, he was saying how he was the Drake at one point, and he had the hot white light, but the hot white light won't last forever. He was like, sometimes you got to know when to switch and when to move on and move out of the white hot light and allow another young person to shine. So this is when Drake first came out, and this is why he was talking about Drake was very polite. Then, as you can see in this clip, he's a little older. He's got that infidelity thing because this is the 444 tour. In this situation here, he flipped the white hot light in a different way. What he's talking about here is saying that he don't need no white hot light. He's forever. Forever, forever, ever, forever. He's like that now. So he kind of usurped what the white hot light is. He's gonna play forever. And basically what Drake and all these people and 50 Cent is letting him know, like, you got to hang it up. You're not gonna play forever. And so it goes back to his statement when he said that something about him being a young man. Yeah, he said, you have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it. He ain't young. He is a man. He's 55 years old. And my old best friend, she used to say to me about one of her cousins. She's like, you know, that's the never get old generation. I'm like, how old is you? She's like, I don't know. You know, that's the never get old generation. They don't age. I said, what you mean? She's like, you know, like the Jay-Z's, the 50 Cents, the Fabs, they don't want to grow up. They Toys R Us kids. And it's so true. That generation, they holding on so tight, where it's like, you got the Cool Mo D's, you got the L Cool J, you got the Ice Cubes, the Ice T's. They done went on to do way better things. They got established families. They got established businesses. I think one of them, Ice Cube created so many businesses and movies and 3 for 3 and I mean, he just be on in his big one. We know L Cool J is a hostess, the Grammys and all the award shows. That's his season. He's like Mariah Carey of the award season. He pops out. He do what he gotta do. He makes his money on television and movies and in between. Deep Blue Sea, Deep as Blue. That's my mind's going. My mind's like a shark or something. So he's all into that. But Jay-Z, even though he has his ventures, he's still very much in control of music. He wants to control the music industry. And all the snake-like things that Dame has been saying about him is coming to light. Like Dame said the other day, like something funky about this because he traded his portion, which was weird too. Why did Dame, that's another thing. Dame just sold his portion of Rockefeller. He would not sell it for years and years and years. He knew it was worthless. And so then when he finally went to sell it at the auction, he said nobody showed up to the auction. He thought he would have got a little bit. He made less off of it. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted it. Why is that? Now we know, right? So he said, guess who bought the stake of it? The feds. He was like, the police bought it. Yeah. That was 2 months ago that they bought that. So this is all unraveling before our eyes, y'all. And y'all go back to my Kanye video that I posted, right? So in that Kanye video, shout out to y'all. It's over 1 million views now. Thank you, Kanye, for not, taking it off. I appreciate it. Thank you. You got me some followers. I appreciate it. So anyway, yeah, so that video there, when you look up that Ballers anthem, right? All those people there. Somebody got to hide something because they got a lot to lose. Who would have a lot to lose? 45 or 47? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, allegedly. They got a lot to lose. So you got to clean out their closet. They got to clean the house. If you're not playing, you got to go. You trying to run stuff, you got to go. He has a certain agenda, Project 2025. If you're not aligned with that agenda, you got to go. If you talking about all that black pride, black this, black parade, you got to go. You got to get with it like Charlamagne did. Let's get into him. Like, you got to get with it or go home. And that is always, I won't say always. I was thinking about Masa Musa, and this is a tangent. Y'all know just let me be. Let me rock. Masa, what's his name? Masa Musa? Mansa Musa. I was thinking about him last night. I was like, okay, he reminds me of Mali Empire, one of the richest men alive. And I'm sure people like Jay-Z, they have researched in modern and pattern themselves after him. So I was thinking about, how did he pass away? And I didn't look it up last night, so I'm going to look now. He was approximately, he reigned for 25 years. He was born in 1280, passed in 1337. And let's see how he passed. Because that is very telling of how Jay-Z might end up being taken out. It says it's uncertain. For the richest man in the world, for his passing to be uncertain is really interesting. The date, I said the date of Mansa Musa's death is uncertain. Using the reign lengths reported by calculated back to his death to be approximately 1360. Musa would have died in 1332. Oh, Mansa Sumulian, meaning the one before him. Musa would have died in 1332. However, Ibn also reports that Musa sent an ayah was to congratulate Abu Hussein Ali of his conquest in May 1337. So they don't know. But how don't you know how the richest man alive passed away? Mansa Musa's palace has vanished, and the mosque still stands in Timbuktu. Let me see. How did? And this is important. I'm gonna come back around to it. It's no information. So you tell me the richest man in the world, there's no information on how he passed? This is a lie. I gotta research this more. Because to me, how Mansa Musa passed away will be indicative of how Jay-Z is going to be taken out. That's just my opinion. Because I feel like there's a certain repetitive thing of nature, right? Obviously, he's not as rich as Mansa Musa, but in terms of pop culture, in terms of who he represents to black culture, he represents a Mansa Musa kind of power. For a long time, he did. I don't know for the new generation, but I know for my generation, he was the guy. He was the guy. He was that dude. And you were so proud of him, and he was like the first billionaire rapper. I mean, him and Dr. Dre, but Dr. Dre had all that. He was just so sullied and just, you know, his whole thing was just kind of messy. Whereas Jay-Z kept it professional, kept it clean for the most part. Like, you know, it was like he said in his letter, I did my dirt. I was a Brooklyn kid, but I made it out of that. And to me, I always thought he was cosplaying Beyonce's daddy, if you ask me personally. Because I feel like once he seen how Beyonce daddy moved in such a... Because Beyonce daddy was a corporate corporate person. So he know how to play the politics, right? So he was a VP of, I want to say Kodak? Was it Kodak? Beyonce daddy. VP of sales. Kodak. Xerox. I was close. Okay, Xerox. So he worked for Xerox for 10 years, and he made it pretty high. And he also worked for neurological sales at Johnson & Johnson. Extremely smart. So for a black man to make it to that point, he has a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from Fisk University. Fisk, I mean, come on. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think when he saw how Beyonce's father moved in the industry in such a professional way, I think that's where his obsession came. I don't think he ever really was obsessed with Beyonce. I think he's obsessed with Beyonce's dad. That's been my own personal, little tiny, little. You know, you have your own opinion that you'll never say out loud. That's been my opinion this whole time. Like, he wants to study Matthew Knowles. Yeah. He is obsessed with that. Fatherhood, that culture of it all. And he wanted and Jay-Z is not the person. He said I'm in the game forever. He couldn't just allow Beyonce to flourish and thrive under Matthew Knowles. He needed to take some credit for it. So that's why he completely encouraged her to go independent, and she couldn't go under Rock Nation, because that probably was the goal, because Matthew wasn't going to tolerate it. So he said, okay, well, I can't control her in that way. I'm going to control her and make her my wife. And she's still going to be my artist. And as you can see, she don't move like an independent artist as she so speaks. She moves like she is Jay-Z's artist, but she's not. She's not signed to Jay-Z. So this is what I'm saying. He had to figure out a way to control that, right? That entity, that product, because that's what he do. He moves product. A leopard don't change their what? Stripes. I hope y'all hear me though. So, okay. Charlamagne the God. That's where we's going with this. Monique, there is a clip of Monique she's talking about Charlamagne being, I saw it on X. I don't know if I saved it or not. I didn't even save it because I was just so disgusted by it, like just his whole antics. So there's a clip of Monique saying, "Let me tell you something, brother." And Monique is basically saying that you are a sellout. Like, remember the movie Birth of the Nation, which is a whole nother thing, how that brother got blacklisted after doing that movie? Wasn't no butt breaking in that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of other stuff in that movie, but that movie was like really beautiful, and it was like well made. And then shortly after he got the Jonathan Majors treatment, and he disappeared from society, and he ended up funding a lot of that movie on his own. You know, he went too far outside of the scope of like what the handlers will allow. So let me show you. There's a Threads picture that I did post, and it reminded me of what's happening with Charlamagne. And I said Andrew Schultz and Charlamagne the Dog. There's no leash. There's no leash. See? There's nothing there. That's the representation to me. And as you can see in if you guys aren't following me on Threads, you should. So I wrote there, Andrew Schultz and Charlamagne the Dog, because that's how he's acting, like a lap dog. Because if I show you these videos of him, Monique to Charlamagne. Let's see if I can find the video of it. So there's a video of Monique, and if you see this,
Birth of a Nation, you hear yourself a lot from me lately. You're going to hear yourself around the world, because we have to explain brothers like you too. And when we watched that movie Birth of a Nation, and we saw that man walk his wife into that master's house, we watched him walk his wife in. Then we watched him go back and get him. You're that brother. I thank y'all for your time, my baby. You hear yourself a lot from me lately. You're going to hear yourself around the world, because we have to explain brothers like you too. And when we watched that movie Birth of a Nation, and we saw that man walk his wife into that master's house, we watched him walk his wife in. Then we watched him go back and get him. You're that brother.
And you know what, the powerful part about that I wanted to tell y'all about, the reason that particular part was so important to me is because if you look at the Andrew Schultz clip, it literally shows him. That's what I was trying to look for now. Let me see if I can find. This is when he brought Charlamagne.
I never heard. You make jokes about black people? I make jokes about black women, yeah. Really? I never heard.
He said, yeah. And he said, oh, really? Sorry I even questioned you, master.
I can see why you haven't heard him, because I usually do it on this podcast.
Y'all, it's not here. I'm going to keep. I felt so bad for Charlamagne. Like, how could you just sit there and let this man talk to you like that? Like, and talk about black women. Then Charlamagne literally brought a black woman with him to the meeting. And I think that's why the clip is going now, because the Monique clip, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to figure out how to, I'm not going to be able to find that clip, and I don't want to stay on here too much longer. But I'm going to find that clip, because you know how I am. If I say I'm going to find it, I'm going to find it. So I'm going to find that clip, juxtaposition, and I'm going to make it into a short. Because I'm going to do the Monique clip, and then I'm going to do the Andrew Schultz clip. You guys better see it while you can, because you know they may try to take that clip down. But this whole thing is to say that there are gatekeepers in Hollywood, right? And those gatekeepers were Jay-Z and Diddy. And because, to me, 50 Cent is not even one of the new gatekeepers. They're not thinking about him either. They're on to I Show Speed and Kai Cent. Those are the two new gatekeepers of black culture. So if they want something done and want something popular, they will go through those young streaming people who are popular on Twitch. I think I Show Speed has about 100 million followers. And then we know Kai Cent, who knows? I didn't know. He's like, how many followers does Kai have? How many followers does Kai? And so he to me, he even looks like Diddy. He has 15.4 million followers on Twitch. Then I Show Speed followers count. I Show Speed on Twitch. Well, I guess it says 728 subscribers, but I know Shannon Sharp said last night that he had over 100 million subscribers. Maybe that's on every platform combined. But I don't know how much I don't know how much. Well, Kai Cent has more apparently. So Kai Cent has 15 million on Twitch, and then I Show Speed has 728 thousand on Twitch. So there you go. So they're pretty popular. They are kind of the new leaders of the current school, and I think that is where the future is going. And to me, they have the same vibes. I think Kai Cent and Diddy, you know, is very much aligned with corporate America, like the Tesla robot and all that stuff. You can kind of see it. The proof is in the pudding. They have a certain type that they like in Hollywood to be the leaders of those gatekeepers. And he's falling in line with that. And if you look at I Show Speed, he kind of look like Jay-Z a little bit. So they have their replacements. They don't need them in the no white hot nothing no more. He's all right now. He's just in the hot water. That's the only thing Jay-Z is in. So I'll leave it there, and I'll find that clip and post it all, and then we will talk soon. I don't know if I'm coming on to the live tomorrow because I'm gonna do this today, but I might still hop back on tomorrow for the Tuesdays live, because you know we're doing lives every Tuesday at 2 p.m. and we are gonna have a good old time, because I got other stuff to talk about. I want to talk about the DEI of it all. I have a bunch of news. I want to talk about Juicy and she talked about Love Island, and I love Juicy. If you guys don't watch her, I love her. I want to talk about the harm to black women and the certain phenotypes, and Dr. Umar, he talked about colorism the other day. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about Cordell and him being a breath of fresh air to Love Island. Like, there's a lot of little stuff that was unrelated to this crazy mess that we're in today. I even had a little bit of Andrew Schultz in there, but it was in relation to the Black Brit Boys and how that ties in. So all that we were supposed to talk about tomorrow in our live before this Jay-Z stuff just popped off and came out of nowhere. Clear blue sky. Well, not for me. It wasn't clear blue sky. I saw the writing on the wall. Catch it. All right, guys. On that note, take care. This is Give This Girl a Mic. Thank you for joining me today on this crazy, hectic live. I appreciate all the love. Take care. Until next time. Bye. See you. Have a good day and stay blessed. And remember, maintain your MVP, your morals, your values, and your principles.